Morning YouTube. What a lovely morning it is. Nice and misty. Don't think I've ever seen the lake looking like this before. It's lovely. Couple of cars in the car park already. Today I'm going to be fishing the Method again today. This is Sam's Water. Going to be fishing the Method today, and also a rod out for Perch like I did in the last video. But this time I'm going to change things up. I'm not going to go fish meal this time. I'm going to go sweet this time, so I'm going to try something a bit different. But going to get the gear out of the car, the gear out of the car, and find a swim. This is the swim I've chosen today. This is swim number 2, right by the car park. I'm going to be fishing a Method feeder out, just not right up tight to the island, but probably around this area. And I'm going to be fishing a perch rod just in front of the pads, just there. You've got a lot of nice overhanging tree here, so it looks quite appealing. Don't think I've ever fished this swim, so I'll give this a go today. I'll just show you my setup today. 11-foot quiver tip Shakespeare rods. This is the perch setup. Say 1/4 ounce lead on a Corum free flow, free running rig, going down to a, where are we? Just there. Size 12 wide gape barbless hook. That will be fishing prawns. And then behind that is a 24-gram Guru feeder, 6-pound line. So I'll be fishing that on the Method, straight out to that island. So we shall see. Let's get some ground bait out and get the perch rod set up. Okay. We're all settled in. I'm just going to do first cast. Going to be using pellets today, and they are going to be soaked in Scopex liquid, and on the hook I'm using a strawberry and Scopex bandem. Pellets have been soaked for half an hour, so they should be fine. Perfect. For ages I've been using fish meal down here. Whenever I come down here for years, it's been fish meal, fish meal, fish meal. And don't get me wrong, I've caught, but I just feel there needs to be a change. So hopefully we'll see what happens with the sweet flavour. Try Scopex. Scopex is a proven catcher anyway. So we'll see. You may notice in this clip that I'm now wearing a chest mount with a GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero 7, and we're going to be, I'll be cutting into, or my son will be editing into clips from the GoPro. Will be edited into this video. Just one touch so far on the method. So, probably a few more casts just to build up a baited area out there. Oh, one little bleep on the perch rod. Sun's just trying to break through. Where I've ended up fishing is around about here. I'm not fishing tight to the island. It's not. I've never really had great success fishing tight to islands. And then the other bait, which is the prawn, is around about here, just off the tip of those pads. I've had one touch on that already. Just I don't know if it was a line bite. Probably was. Didn't come to anything. But I've good hopes for that today. So mixed up like a fishy ground bait. It's a spicy sausage ground bait with tuna flakes and chopped prawn slung in. So let's see what that brings. And then these are the pellets, soaked for half an hour. They've come up nice. And these are the strawberry and Scopex bandums. Just got them off eBay. That was the company. Coarse fishing baits. So let's see what becomes of that. Just had another little touch on the perch bait. Probably just another liner. But nothing to report on the method. Seems very slow at the moment on the method. Currently using these strawberry and Scopex Bandams. They were advertised as wafters, but I've tried it in the margins, and there's not much wafting going on. So I'm assuming they're just sinkers, really. So I've got with me some of the Nash Instant Action little 12mm strawberry crush. So I'm a little bit tempted to stick one of them on there. They're like a light, like a washed out pink colour. So, I'd stick one of them on a change the hook link to from a banded hook link to a bayonet hook link, and I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, so I'll stick that on. I think chuck that out, give it a go, see what happens. It's just basically a case of trying to make something happen. Just had a recast, so I'm now on 12mm strawberry crush boilie on the method. So tried a short cast and see what happens with that. Just spoke to Mike. Mike's just been round. Tells me that the day before yesterday they had a 3 pound 2 ounce perch out. So, but he seems to think that it's possibly the wrong time of year to be targeting perch. But we'll see. I mean, you know, perch they are a predatory fish, and people do tend to fish for them during the winter. I don't see why. You know, it's a bonus rod. I mean, you know, they've still got to eat during the rest of the year, so we'll see how that one goes. That's quite promising. Apparently the guy caught it on maggot. He was just fishing for silvers, and I suppose all the commotion of catching silvers, I suppose, has attracted the perch. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get a little bit of interest today on the bronze. Okay, this is the first time I've ever used a GoPro. This is my son's GoPro Hero 7. We've obviously done filming before down here on a GoPro, but my son's always done the filming, and he's never really done it on a chest mount. This is what I've got on at the moment, chest mount. So hopefully this might give a different perspective to the fishing down here. Also might make the videos a little bit more interesting for you subscribers. But yeah, at least you can see, possibly get some bites. You'll be able to see some bites firsthand. But yeah, so interesting stuff. Alright, let's have a little recast. Not much, literally a couple of tiny touches on here. Obviously needs a bit of bait putting out there, really, to gain any interest. just comes up perfect. I've got a lot more confidence with the pellets than the method mix itself. Let's try a slightly different area. Perhaps fishing slightly too close to the island. You don't have to. It's not a long chuck. This lake is not. It's only a small lake anyway, so you don't have to do like horizon casts. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. Already noticed one sort of fish up on the surface. Couldn't really see. There's obviously a carp, but couldn't really see much. It's so peaceful down here. There was already a few guys when I turned up this morning. One guy literally just getting out of his car when I turned up. So everyone's nice and friendly down here. Just had a little bit of interest on the method. I've tried a shorter cast. I don't think a long cast is paying off here. As I said in previous videos, I've always had better success sort of mid channel. When I say mid channel, I mean from the bank to, say, an island, or about halfway. Yeah, so I just had a little twang on the end there, so hopefully it'll come to something. But admittedly, it is very slow on the method. Quite surprised actually. I thought, that a change in flavour may have sort of sprung things into life, but it's early days yet. It's only 9:24. So that mist is burning off now, so I can just about make out there's another angler directly opposite me in the corner swim. It's a nice little swim, that. To be honest, I would have probably either gone there, over in that corner, or opposite the car park as you come in, on the bank that divides the two lakes. But I'll be honest, I'm trying to try swims that I've never fished before. I don't ever recall fishing this. This is swim number 2. I don't ever recall fishing this one. And to be honest with you, I don't know why, because it is a lovely little swim. And it actually gives you, I don't know if I can pick it up on here, it gives you this little area here, which is like a bank that cuts out behind some reeds. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this swim today, but I really am holding out for a perch, really. Anything I get on the method will be nice, but I really would love that perch rod to go off. I just feel that a nice big prawn, yeah, a nice big prawn. I'll show you the prawns later, but they've been soaked in liquid worm, so they've come up nice and red. Not as red as the ones in the last video, because they weren't king prawns. They were smaller. They were smaller, like cheap and cheerful prawns that are the only ones I could get. But these ones I managed to track down some king prawns at a reasonable price as well. £3 a bag from Tesco's, and they're decent. They really are decent prawns as well. So I'm hoping one of them may tempt a decent perch. There are some decent perch in here as well. I mean, I have had perch in the past from, funny enough, from this side of the lake. Not this swim, but this side of the lake. Seems to be the sort of perchy area. Although, saying that, there is a guy that comes down here, an old boy I think. He comes down and he fishes the other side, and he has perch, but he's I think he's a little bit secretive on his methods and baits. So, but you make your own luck, really. So, someone's cutting grass, I think. Yeah, someone's cutting grass in the background. So, but enough waffling. On with the fishing. Well, this is the first. First little knock on the. Feels like a bream. Which you think it's only a bream? Yeah, it's a bream. Well, it's livened things up. It's a snotty. Unhooked itself. Yeah, a pound. Something like that. You've managed to get me bait back. I can go back on again. Oh, it's a start. So we'll have a recast. Well, that. So ringing the changes there. Ringing the changes there with the boilie. Seems to have done the trick there. So. That was a shorter cast. So we'll try that again. That was no good because all the stuff came off. And the pellets came off there. So we'll try again. slightly more gentle cast. It's better. Oh well, we're off the mark anyway. So, she's good, she's fine. I don't mind snotties, they're as long as they're around about that size. I mean, a bit different when they're smaller than that. But, you know, can't have everything. This was the same sort of thing that happened when the last video, which hopefully would have been put out before this video, and that was catching bream. That was from over more or less opposite to where I'm fishing at the moment. Oh, heron. Yeah, and I started off catching bream there. I was using the Bandams and I was catching small bream. So what I did is I upped it to I had some 10mm boilies there. I had some old, I've had them ages in a jar, but they've managed to sort of stay fresh. And 2 herons, that's unusual. Yeah, managed to stay fresh. And I slung one of them on. I think it was a pineapple flavour one. But that was using that was with a fish meal. That was with a fish meal method mix, but I couldn't get it right. I don't know if I mixed it up too. I must have mixed it up too wet, but it just wouldn't bind properly in the mould. And every time you pushed the feeder in and went to eject it, half of it would come out, and it just wasn't working. So that's one reason why I've gone over to pellets today, and the pellets seem to be working a lot better. Can't really go wrong with pellets. But yeah, that's that. The strawberry crush boilie there. Now either that was a rogue bream, just happened to be passing by, or they've homed in on the sweetness of the Scopex and the strawberry boilie. So we'll give it another go. See what develops, as they say. Okay, second take on the method. This one tore off, but yeah. Oh, what's that? Looks like some sort of hybrid or something. Oh, yeah, it's like a hybrid. Not really sure what that is. tucked nicely in the bottom lip. That's it. Safely unhooked. Yeah. Just what that is. Like a hybrid carp with some description. Okay. That £2, something like that. Interesting. I don't think I've ever had one of them before, so seems to be the little strawberry boilies seem to be working okay. So. We'll stick a new one on. These are the boilies I'm using. Strawberry Crush. It's not buy two get one free anymore, they're not doing that promotion. This is the Bayonet system. Stick one in there. That sun's coming through now. You've got some people setting up there. 2 or 3 swims along from me on the right. So let's just take the slack off that a little bit. That's better. Yeah, it pulled that one. So, don't know what, not sure what that is. If everybody knows in any comments below. It obviously looked like some sort of hybrid. Looked like a cross between a carp and a bream, to be honest. Yeah, that sun's breaking through now. So it's going to be a nice day today, a mix of cloud and sun. expecting the carp to be up on the top today. So, the only thing with fishing near trees, bloody flies. Oh, it's two bream so far. Sorry, do apologise. One bream and one hybrid. I'm sure it was a hybrid. Between a carp and a bream, I think. So. I mentioned in just before in the GoPro footage, if anybody's got any comments on what it was, I'd be pleased to know. Possibly another bream. Yeah, it's a little snotty. It's snotty as well. Very messy fish. Some of the strawberry, little strawberry, 12 mils. Yeah, the bites are starting to come a bit more frequent now. Possibly because the sun's up. I don't know. But, failing that, it's because I've changed the bait. So, long may it carry on. It's only a matter of time before the I mean, if you're catching bream, it's only a matter of time before the carp turn up. See what all the fuss is about. Just going to stick some ground bait out around the perch rod, just to create a little bit more, see if I can get a bit more interest. Don't know if it's picking it up on the GoPro, but loads of little flies buzzing around. I don't think they're not gnats, but I don't think they're all over the place. I don't know what they are. They're harmless really, but yeah, a bit of a pain. Yeah, a little bit more interest now on the method. So, getting a few little knocks. As I say, the tally at the moment is two bream and the hybrid. So. It's coming up to 10:30. Lake looking lovely. Have a recast on the perch rod. And also a recast on the feeder. This is the ground bait I'm using. It's the spicy sausage, and I've mixed in tuna flakes, just cheap, couple of cheap tins from Poundland, 50p a tin. Sling that in. And I've also cut up some prawns, slung them in. You can see there's little bits of prawn there. These are the prawns I'm using. I mean, they're cracking looking prawns, and they've been soaked in liquid worm, which has made them nice and red. So I'm going to stick one on now. That on there like that. And hopefully might get something off of that. Bait runner engaged. I think what is going on over the other side of the lake is contractors working for Mike on the proposed new pontoons that I was talking to Mike about the last time I was here. He was chatting to me and saying that he's got some new pontoons ordered. So that'll be something to look forward to. Yeah, that'd be something to look forward to, new pontoons, because these ones are okay. But there are some that are broken in areas. And obviously it doesn't make for good fishing. So yeah, hopefully. Looks like they're over there having a little dig about. It looks like they even might be installing one today, I don't know. Guy's in his chest waders. He's up to his chest just off the end of the pontoon, so that's quite that shows you how deep it is. Interesting. I'm surprised that the worm hasn't gone. Tried the worm in the feeder this time. Kind of livened the worm up when it got pushed into the feeder. So hopefully that might trigger a take or something. He's very quiet. I'm not even hearing buzzers or anything. Alright, have a little change in tactic. Obviously sticking with the method. I'll be sticking with this all day really. But the boilie side of it is not really coming off for me. So what I'm going to do is going to try a worm. So what I'll have to do is change hook links, which is fairly easy with this system. It's a handy little magnet there. So that goes back in the bayonet section, and these are little hair stops. With a speed bead, so that's that. Then all we need is the little corn. A worm. What do we do? Push that through the worm, like so. Theory, you shouldn't go anywhere. So we'll have a little reload of the pellets. Obviously don't put the worm inside the pellet, but you won't be too far away from the feeder, and we'll see what that picks up. Kind of expecting something fairly instantly with this, because it is a worm and it's wriggling. So I would imagine something should happen here. It's all about ringing the changes here. You just got to keep plugging away until you find something that works. Plenty of dragonflies about, which is a good sign. Nice healthy lake. And last time I fished worm here, which was in the video before this, picked up nice carp. It was about £9 something. That was on the method. Again, that was a day where trying different things, seeing what worked and what didn't. So I'm all for experimenting with fishing. It's that's what it's all about. There's no such thing as the perfect bait or a golden bait. All baits work on different days, different times. But it's for us to work out. Nothing at all on the perch rod at the moment. I'm kind of expecting that if that was to go, possibly later in the afternoon, when the light levels drop. I mean, I'll stay till late tonight. When I say late, probably, you know, round about 7ish. I can't really stay any later than that because obviously you lose the light. Yeah, so I've got work tomorrow, part of my shift pattern, but I'll be 4 on, and then as from Tuesday I shall be 6 off, so hopefully I'll be able to get another little session in. There's not many fish that can't resist a worm. Admittedly, that one's been out there for a little while now, and it's had a couple of casts, so it's probably not the most liveliest worm in the world. But at the same time, I would imagine a worm doesn't really give off much scent unless it's cut and bleeding. So obviously it must be the visual thing. It must be the movement of the worm. So I'll give it a little bit longer. What I'll do is I'll probably put on another worm. Yeah, it's gone a bit quiet. A couple of little bleeps on the perch rod, but not really come to much. So a little bit of banging and crashing on the other side of the bank, but it's I don't really think it has much effect, any sort of work down here. So, but yeah, shall carry on regardless. There's not a lot being caught, to be honest, around the lake. Quite a few people carp fishing. I'm basically just fishing for whatever comes along, really. Quite happy with that. But I must admit, I would really like a big perch. Oh, hang on. I mean, to be honest, if something does take that prawn, it can only be something of a decent size. I mean, it's a fairly big prawn, so it would have to be a biggish perch or a carp. So.
arranged the meeting, and then there was this big COVID outbreak again. So it's been put on hold. I think the sick note runs out next month, so they'll probably be up.
Again, another little touch.
Well, it's a big company. I don't know about no one's paying into a pension, you see, as you just said. Although he's off sick, you don't get sick pay because there's nothing going in the pension because there's no wages, so they don't take the percentage. So
Definitely something having a go at it. I took the advice of one of the guys on Facebook who's a member down here, a guy called Andy Forster. He said to me you want to use at least an 18-inch trace as a hook link in the length, because he was saying obviously if perch feel any resistance, they'll pick it up and drop it if they feel any resistance. So I've taken his advice and I've used a longer trace than I would normally use. Just had a pull on the worm. So whatever that was, might be back for it. There's not many fish that can't resist a worm. Admittedly, that one's been out there for a little while now, and it's had a couple of casts, so it's probably not the most liveliest worm in the world. But at the same time, I would imagine a worm doesn't really give off much scent unless it's cut and bleeding. So obviously it must be a visual thing. It must be the movement of the worm. So I'll give it a little bit longer, and what I'll do is I'll probably put on another worm. I dug some worms a few days ago, and foolishly I left them in a bait box in the garden, and then it rained. And it's a Drennan bait box, it's got tiny little holes in the top, and I thought, well, the rain won't get in there. But I was wrong. So when I went out to have a look at them, just to check on them, opened them up, and it was half a tub of water was in there, so they'd all drowned. So they ended up going in the bin, well, not the bin, but back in the garden for the birds. And then it was a case of a emergency dig for some more worms. Now I haven't got a vast area in my garden to dig worms, but I created a new one at the end of the garden and did a bit of weeding at the same time, and managed to find some lobs. So the ones I were finding were a bit on the small side. They're the kind that you'd use for float fishing, match fishing. But the lobworms, if nothing comes of the prawn, then I may switch to a lobworm, or I might even do both if I can very lightly hook a prawn and a worm. Just put a little bit of a little cut down, very tiny piece of elastic band on the hook afterwards to hold everything on. Yeah, I might try that. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but it hasn't got to that yet because we are only 12:30, so we got plenty of time. So the lake should be switching back on shortly, and that little knock I had then might have been an indication that the fish are starting to come back on again. So we'll see. I've gone from back off the worm now, and I'm back on the strawberry crush 12mm boilies. The worm, I was getting a couple of knocks on the worm, but nothing definite, just small stuff tearing at the worm. So back on the strawberry crush. We're just going to go full circle again.
You've got a lot of weight on that.
That's just right. When that sun goes in, that's just how I prefer it fishing. When the sun comes out fully, kills it. Couple of little tugs on the worm. Decided to fix the jetty about two jetties away from me, so I think the perch side of it might have gone out the window. Although I don't think they're going to be there that long, hopefully. The only thing when you're fishing with worm is if you've had a couple of bites on it, have they taken the worm? Because worms are obviously fairly soft to a fish, but have they taken the worm, and are you fishing with a bare hook? Well, obviously not. There's obviously something still there. It just needs to wing round hard. There's no point in striking at the small bites.
I've got basically nothing under the whole jack here.
It's just the waiting game, really. This was a slightly longer cast where I've been doing short casts, and the baits just seemed to dry up. I wasn't getting anything at all. But then again, I would probably put that down to the fact that, I mean, I haven't seen anybody else catch anything at the moment. So I think the whole lake had gone dead. But the sun has gone behind a cloud at the moment. And really, this is how I thought it was going to be all day, with the sun sort of mostly behind the cloud, which is I find the sport is better when the sun's behind the cloud. But it seems to be when the sun comes out, it kind of kills the lake a bit. I think I'll put a new worm on, because this one's had about 3 casts and it's probably been pulled from here to eternity. So I think we'll have a new worm. This one won't go to waste, because he will be recycled around my perch bait. Perfect. So we have your bait stick, and we'll have nice big, say big, he's more lively. We'll top up with pellets. Short cast. So that's a short cast. I may just give them a little sprinkle. Flashes in the pads, small fish like being spooked.
Will your battery still go on the same?
Create some silverfish activity. That's going to attract the perch. I've literally gone through the card on the method. I've tried literally everything I've got in the bag. I'm just going full circle with the bait I used at the start when I started. Through the bag and then now I'm back using the same stuff again. I've got a feeling it'll just suddenly switch. The sun is in and out. Little very small fish jumping, which is a good sign. Just had a nice couple of tugs on the worm. As I said before, not worth striking at those, the small ones. Just wait for the big one. Here we go. Missed it. Okay, back out. Just a short chuck. Yeah, get to those a little bit. I wetted those. I wetted the pellets up, so I'm hoping might breathe a bit more because they wasn't sticking very well. So just to re-liven them up. Just a little touch there. So a little touch. It was more like a mini take. But could have been picked up, felt a bit of resistance and let go. It's a shame. It's okay. It's a considering all the noise that's going on. I should think it probably was a perch. It's the only thing I can think it would have been. If it had been a carp, I think it would have just taken it and that would have been the end of that. But starting to see a bit of Bit of life in the lake now. Bit of movement on the top. So hopefully this could be the signs of good things. Just had a big show of fish exploded from the pads. I've just put out a big prawn, so hopefully big prawn, some ground bait, and it was quite a big show of I mean, before it's just been, you know, probably a handful of fish scattering, which obviously, you know, something scared them, but this was quite a big, must have been over 20 fish, I suppose, sort of like, you know, sort of broke the surface. Kind of putting all my eggs in one basket really, because I think the method is dead today. It's absolutely dead. I mean, there's a couple more people turned up to fish, but I just haven't heard any buzzers. I mean, I know there's been a little bit of noise going on with Mike and the guys repairing the jetties, but that's stopped now. So there's a hell of a lot of people surface fishing, but no one's catching anything. I've seen no swirls, no. I mean, there's a bit of movement now, but that's just tiny fish topping. I'm now on a worm on the method, just to try. I'm going to go back to the perch rod. Getting a few more touches now on the perch rod. Fortunately, it's not turning into anything, but it knocks and bleeps. I'm fishing a quiver tip rod, so that's picking up quite a few sort of a bit of the movement that the alarm isn't. So I know there's movement down there. Put out a bit of ground bait around there, and that's got chopped prawn in it, so they know they know there's prawn about. But the actual bites themselves are just not turning into anything. So there's movement on the rod tip. There's movement in the pads, like under the pads. So there's obviously, here we go. There's small fish darting about under there, which hopefully is attracting the perch. But whatever it is, he's just not big enough. My guess would be small perch having a go at it. Because what I've done now is put the prawn on, and after I've put the hook through the prawn, I've just put a tiny little piece of elastic band just over the tip of the hook and then pulled it back round, so there's no way that the prawn could come off. hopefully the noise has stopped now in the couple of swims along, because they were repairing the jetties down here. Typical, if I'd have come yesterday they probably weren't doing it. I think they're going elsewhere now to go and, I think they said something about dinner time, or going off to repair another jetty somewhere else on the lake. So hopefully it won't be as close. Just need a full-blooded run. Oh, just had what I came for. Big perch. Ooh. Now, that is big. That is big. Cracker. Well, I've got what I came for. £2.12 of perch. That, very nice. Slip it back, but that's what I came for. Well chuffed with that. £2.12. That's what I came for. Believe it, sitting there all day fishing prawns. Swapped over to worm. Within a couple of minutes, bang, it was away. I mean, that perch was big enough to take a big prawn. Well big enough. Its mouth was colossal.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming around about 7. What do you bring you up the same, Mother?
I'm back out on worm still, so.
Oh, 3:15. What's you home already?
That was about 3:15. So, a couple more hours yet. So if that sun was to go in, it'd be perfect.
I'm going to ring him out. Get the bins out. Right, I did. Right, you did put me on the list, didn't you? Well, I told Kirsty she had to do it.
got some worms left, some big worms as well. So. Now I've like created a feeding area with the ground bait. I think I might concentrate. I might even wind the method rod in because that's just not doing anything. I'll just concentrate on this one now. I don't know what footage I got on the GoPro. I think the GoPro literally ran out. The battery ran out when I was putting it in the waste sling. At least hopefully I got so worried about the bite and the fight. But to have it in the cradle and then get some film actually of it proof. So that's possibly my best perch from here. I've had big perch before, but £2.12, that's like 4 ounces off of £3. There's obviously bigger ones in here than that. Still there, whatever it is, still there. Right, I've packed up the method rod. I knocked that one on the head. I was just getting nowhere with that. So I'm going to just concentrate on the perch rod. It's really sort of filled me with confidence now having that big perch. Now it's coming up for 4:30. Hopefully this is now the time when the perch start roaming, start hunting. I don't know if I was just lucky with that perch or it was in the swim. I mean, it made sense because there was that big scattering of fish, and a perch that big would do that. So I'm going to concentrate now. I've come off of the prawns and gone on to the worms. I'm getting loads of little like rises up and down with a bobbin where obviously small fish are hitting it. Obviously it needs something big to just pick that worm up. These 2 worms actually, I've doubled up on the worms. Try and make it more enticing. Well, I'm back on the prawn. It went really dead. It went really dead on worm, which was surprising because I had that perch on the worm, and then I thought, oh, that's it. I found the bait that works. But it went really dead. So I brought the worm in, and it had been hammered. Now I'm back on the prawn. Yeah, I'm back on the prawn and I'm getting knocks like that. They're obviously sort of having a go at it, whittling it down. It just takes that, and just needs that big perch to come along and sort of bully itself in on the bait. It's such a strange day today on the lake. It's, don't think anybody else has caught a carp. I can't see everybody on the lake, but the people I can see not caught anything. There's a lot of guys down here surface fishing, nothing. There's fish topping now, but they're not. You get the occasional slurp, like from the carp on the top. Everybody's on mixers or dog biscuits or whatever, cat biscuits. I think it's just one of them days. It's just one of them days where it's just not happening. It's just gone 10 to 5. Yeah, it's just gone 10 to 5. I'll stay to the death, obviously, because there could be a chance of another decent perch. But I just remembered, I was looking in my bait box, and here we go. That was a strange. I've got a feeling that was a big perch. It was fannying about with it. Must have been because he's just taken the hook. So. Right. New hook on and new bait. Another big show of fish there. Another big spray of like little fish around the pads. Could be a big boy about. Yeah, what I meant to say before I was so rudely interrupted was in my bait box I forgot when I was digging for worms indoors, not indoors, in the garden, I came across a nice big slug. So I'm going to have to give him a go. It would be a shame to have come all the way down here with a slug and not used it. So I might give that a go next. There's an old boy fishing opposite me on the other side of the lake, right where the scarecrow is. I don't know if you can see it in the background. There's a scarecrow. There's an old boy in that swim. He's just had one, and looks like an half decent one as well. It's the first carp, apart from that hybrid one I caught earlier. It's the first carp I've seen caught today. Strange. I mean, usually this time in the evening, just 10 past 5. The place is alive. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, they're all on top. But even today, with the sun out, Mike said, "Oh, you'll see them on top when the sun comes out." I didn't see any. None at all. They're obviously not there because people, there's been loads of people surface fishing for them, so strange day. If you saw that rise in the background there, that's, you're starting to get them. It's starting to happen, but it's kind of a bit late in the day, really. Still feel that there's another perch on the cards though. Feel quietly confident in this swim. I'll definitely fish here again. This is a nice little swim. It went very quiet. Now I've just had a couple of little bleeps on the prawn. Could be a bit of interest there. Getting loads of little knocks on the end of the quiver that the alarm's not picking up. Been a lovely day though. It's been a nice day down here. I wouldn't say the weather's been bang on, but it maybe if you wanted to come fishing and be sitting in the sunshine, then today would have been a lovely day. But I just wish it had been just a bit more overcast. As I've said before, the sun does kill it down here, really. Well, it was a very strange day. Didn't see a lot caught around the whole lake, really. It's 7:15 now. I gave it to the death, to be honest. So all in all, I got what I came for, which was a big perch. So I'm well chuffed with that. I think that's a PB perch for me. £2.12. Hopefully I got I got it. Not so much to capture, but because the GoPro, I haven't seen the GoPro footage yet. It's first time I've used GoPro, so he's a bit jumpy, I would imagine. So, but the last part where I had it on the mat, hopefully I've got that, and that bit will do it justice. Yeah, all in all, a very weird day for fishing down here. I had high hopes for today, but when I arrived and the mist was rolling over the lake, and I thought to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to be in for a good day here. But no, it was a weird day. So I think all in all, I had 2 bream, I had a hybrid carp, bream, whatever it was, and then I had the big perch, and then after that, funny enough, I had a decent roach. I was fishing with prawn and it kind of whittled, it just must have whittled away, and then finally took what was left. But to be honest, the roach must have been a good 8 or 9 inches long, a good pound roach. So I was pleased with that, but it's sort of like, you know, I didn't even capture that on film or anything like that. It was I thought it was going to be a perch, but yeah, I gave it. I think I lost another perch as well, because I had went on worm, what I caught the big perch on, and yeah, I had another sort of like decent run, latched into it, but there was just nothing there at all. So it's either picked up the tail end of the worm, or didn't quite have the worm in its mouth properly. So, but I'm pretty sure that was a perch. If it had been a carp, it would have been more of a definite bite. But no, all in all, it's been another decent day. I mean, the weather's been fantastic. So hopefully by the time this is edited, I hope you enjoy this film. There's a bit more happening in this one than the previous video, but my son Toby, he'll get on that. Theme Park Force, he'll get on the editing for me. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.